Hello, please use this video to check your answers to the Unit 5 Cell Division Study Guide. Feel free to start and stop the video if needed. So let's get started. Number 1, what is the difference between chromatin and chromosomes? Chromatin is thin, uncondensed DNA and protein you see when in non-dividing cells. Chromosomes are thick, condensed DNA and protein, and we see chromosomes in dividing cells. Number 2, what is the difference between sister chromatids and homologous chromosomes? Two identical copies of a chromosome are called sister chromatids. So here's one chromatid here and one chromatid here to make up the chromosome or double chromosome. Number 3, why are egg cells so much bigger than sperm cells? Because there is an uneven dividing of the cytoplasm when eggs are formed. Most of the cytoplasm goes into one cell and very little of it goes to form those polar bodies. Number 4, which cell in the human body are diploid? All body cells are what we call somatic cells, liver cells, heart cells, muscle cells, etc. Number 5, which cell in the human body are haploid? Those would be egg and sperm or sex cells or what we call gametes. 6, is a human zygote haploid or diploid? It is diploid because fertilization has already taken place. Number 7, how can you tell if a patient is biologically male or biologically female? By looking at a karyotype. You look at the 23rd pair of chromosomes, and if it's an XX to X sex chromosomes, it's a female. If there's an X and a much smaller Y chromosome, then it is a male. Number 8, how can you tell if a patient has a disease by looking at a karyotype? You can count the number of chromosomes. A normal human karyotype has 46 chromosomes. So if there's more or less, then the patient has a disease, like, for example, Down syndrome. Here you are to insert a picture of crossing over. So I've got a light chromosome and a dark chromosome, and these are homologous chromosomes, so maybe this is pair number 1. And you can see that pieces of DNA are being exchanged, and so you can see the swapping between the light and the dark chromosome. Crossing over occurs in meiosis 1 only, specifically prophase 1, and it does increase genetic variation. Number 10, what are the two major differences between asexual and sexual reproduction? Think number of parents involved and whether or not the offspring are identical to the parents. In asexual reproduction, there is one parent and the offspring are identical to the parent. In sexual reproduction, there are two parents and the offspring are not identical to either parent. Number 11, how many functional sperm are produced during meiosis? 4. Number 12, how many functional eggs are produced during meiosis? 1. The rest are polar bodies. Number 13, are egg and sperm used for asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction. Number 14, what is the correct order of the events of mitosis? Put the letters of the diagram in order. It should go D, which is prophase, then A, metaphase, then C, anaphase, and B, telophase. Below are two pictures of asexual reproduction. Label them appropriately as budding or binary fission. This is binary fission. It's a bacterium that is divided into two daughter cells. These two cells are genetically identical to each other, and they're identical to the parent. This is an example of something called budding, which is asexual reproduction. The type of organism this is a hydra, and basically a small organism starts to grow off from the side and it gets larger. It will then fall off. This offspring is genetically identical to the parent. Number 16, does asexual reproduction produce offspring that are genetically identical or genetically different from the parent? Genetically identical to the parent with asexual reproduction. Number 17, what is moving apart in the picture below? Sister chromatids or homologous chromosomes? Those are homologous chromosomes. So this is happening in meiosis. And number 18, what is moving apart in the picture below? Sister chromatids or homologous chromosomes. These are sister chromatids that are being pulled apart. Down here, you're doing more labeling. You have a word bank, interphase, prophase, metaphase, and anaphase. This first picture is a picture of anaphase. The chromatids are being pulled to opposite sides of the cell. This is interphase. The chromosomes are not visible. The DNA is in chromatin form. This is metaphase. You can see that the chromosomes are lined up in the middle of the cell. And this is prophase. You can see that the nuclear membrane is starting to break down and the centrioles have moved to opposite sides of the cell. Here in these charts, we are going to put an asterisk in the box to indicate if the statement has something to do with mitosis or meiosis. Produces 2 identical daughter cells is mitosis. Produces 4 daughter cells that are not identical, meiosis. Produces haploid cells, meiosis. Produces diploid cells, mitosis. Used for growth and repair of body cells or somatic cells, mitosis. Used for making gametes, sex cells, meiosis. Crossing over happens, meiosis, and that specifically occurs during prophase 1 of meiosis 1. Some organisms use this for asexual reproduction is mitosis. Here we've got different cell types, and you were to choose whether that particular cell type is haploid or diploid. We're specifically talking about humans. Human somatic cells are usually diploid and have 46 chromosomes, while human sex cells or gametes are normally haploid and have 23 chromosomes. So the sperm is haploid, again 23 chromosomes. The zygote is diploid. Remember, a zygote is after egg and sperm have already united, so it's going to have 46 chromosomes. Egg cells are haploid with 23, and then skin, liver, heart, and lung cells, those are all body cells or somatic cells, are going to be diploid, and they all have 46 chromosomes. Number 35, what is the product of meiosis in human cells? It would be D, 4 cells are produced, each with 23 chromosomes, which makes them haploid, and they are also all genetically different. Here is a picture of mitosis. This parent cell is diploid, and then these 2 daughter cells are also diploid. So the chromosome number stays the same. The chromosome number stays the same. However, that is not the case in meiosis with number 37. When we look at the picture, this parent cell is diploid. Meiosis 1 happens to produce 2 haploid daughter cells. Meiosis 2 happens to produce 4 haploid daughter cells. These are either egg or sperm. 39, why is it easier to see DNA during cell division than it is during interphase? During interphase, the DNA is in chromatin form, whereas the chromosomes become visible during cell division. Number 40, the body cells of a human all contain 46 chromosomes. Sex cells have half the number of chromosomes. Which process, mitosis or meiosis, reduces the number of chromosomes in a cell by half? That would be meiosis. Meiosis can be considered a reduction division. What process is happening here? And give 2 reasons. The process is meiosis. I can tell because there's 2 divisions. Here's one division, and here's the second division. So this would be meiosis 1, meiosis 2. And that the daughter cells formed are haploid. Here we have a parent cell that is diploid, has a diploid number of 4. These cells here all are haploid and have a haploid number of 2. So that's how we tell that that is meiosis. More labeling. This cell is in telophase, metaphase, prophase, and then anaphase. In 43, do homologous chromosomes separate during mitosis or meiosis? Meiosis. Number 44, if an egg cell has 15 chromosomes, it means it's haploid. How many chromosomes are in a liver cell? A liver cell is a body cell, and it is diploid. So it's going to have twice the amount of DNA or chromosomes, so it would be 30. Number 45, which process, mitosis or meiosis, helps your hand heal after it is burned? Mitosis. Why is a zygote diploid? Because haploid sperm fuse with a haploid egg. Haploid plus haploid makes diploid. Number 47, put an asterisk next to each item that can be determined from a karyotype, and there can be more than one answer is correct. You can tell the biological sex of a male and a female by looking at the 23rd pair of chromosomes. If it's an XY, it is a male. If there's two X sex chromosomes, it is a female. However, you cannot tell individual alleles or genes. So you could not tell if a person is tall, or you could not tell the person's blood type. However, you could tell if a person has an extra or a missing chromosomes. For example, the normal human number of chromosomes is 46. So people with Down syndrome have 47 chromosomes. So if you counted the chromosomes, you could tell that the person has an extra chromosome. Number 48. What is it called when a person's cells divide continuously? So uncontrolled cell division is going to be called cancer. Number 49, does crossing over increase variation or decrease variation? It increases variation. Number 50, if you are a male, where must a mutation happen in your body in order for you to pass that mutation on to your future children? It would have to happen in your sperm cells. Number 51, if you're a female, where must that mutation happen for it to pass on to your future children? In your egg cells. Number 52, give an example of a disease that is caused by something called non-disjunction. Non-disjunction is when the chromosomes don't separate properly in meiosis. So you end up having egg and sperm cells having too few or too many chromosomes. So for example, if I've got an egg cell that has an extra chromosome, 24, and a normal sperm cell, 23, 24 plus 23 is going to make 47. So this person has an extra chromosome. If the chromosome that they have extra is in the 21st pair, so in the 21st pair of chromosomes, if there's 3 number 21s, that's going to result in the disease Down syndrome. So people with Down syndrome have 47 chromosomes instead of the normal 46, and the extra one they have is in the 21st pair. They have 3 number 21s.